I know, because I'm usually the guy on the other side of the Zoom, the guy on the other side of the camera, who wishes he could be by the Farbrengen. So I know that besides the hundreds and thousands of Choshevi Yidden, Bachrim, Tmimim that are sitting here in proximity to the Rebbe's oil, there's also many, many Anoshim, Noshim, V'taf, Chassidim that are sitting each in their particular place and that are participating in the Farbrengen. But as mentioned earlier, the Rebbe had a deep appreciation for those that actually tiltula, they moved themselves to be here on this day. So it's possible, and I speak to you, sitting on the other side of the camera, you may be in your place of comfort, maybe you're on your couch, you may even have peanuts with you, I don't know. Maybe you're at your kitchen table, maybe you're at in your zal where you study Torah, where you daven when you don't go to shul once in a while, that's where you daven. Pick yourself up, go to the fridge, to the cooler, to the wine cabinet, to the mashke cabinet, something, wherever you're holding. By me, it's 12 hours ahead, whatever the time is now. Not sure, it's 9 o'clock at night. In Thailand, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you're holding by coffee, push the button on the coffee, whatever it is, pick yourself, pick yourself up, move yourself, and move into the zone. First of all, you have to move into the zone of Hey Teves. Asura. There's an Asura Mikan. You have to leave your comfort zone, or at least the place where walk across the room and come back, and then we can start talking business. Okay, I can't see you. It's not a two-way Zoom, but I think the point is clear. Chaim, to those here and those all around. Again, I'm the guy usually on the other side, so I know there's guys a lot of people on the other side. Chaim. Eretz Yisrael, I don't remember what year it was, in the Gulf War, and the Rebbe said that Eretz Yisrael is the safest place in the world for a Yid. It's a place where Eretz Hashe'ene Hashem Elokecha ba meireshis hashana v'adach lishana, a place where the eyes of the Eibishter, the attention of the Eibishter is there from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. And then the question began. There was a big threat, an ominous threat of Scud missiles, of chemical warfare, chas v'sholem. And on video you see Rabbanim, Choshev mention, Chassidim, coming to ask the Rebbe. I know that the Rebbe is talking about Eretz Yisrael as being the safest place in the world for a Yid, but I have a chasana of my son. Should we reschedule it for a different place? A Rav comes and says, I'm planning to go to Eretz Yisrael, but it's a little scary. Should I still do my trip? And time again, the Rebbe says, you don't listen to what I'm saying? I'm constantly telling you that Teves says Eretz Yisrael is a land asher eine Hashem Elokecha ba meireshis hashana v'adach lishana. Eretz Yisrael is the place where a Yid has the most attention of the Eibishter. There's no safer place for a Yid. But time and time again, they come, Choshevi Yidden, real, what I would call Torah Jews. They get paid a salary to paskin halachas in Torah. And the Rebbe is saying, Torah says it's the safest place. They're coming and asking, but Rebbe, and I'll paraphrase, I'll insert what they're asking. Rebbe, between me and you, not the official line you're saying. Between me and you, like there's a saying in Yiddish, zwischen uns gerät. Zwischen uns gerät. Between me and you, Rebbe. Can I go to Israel? I'm talking in Tafshin Aleph Nun. Niflois Areno Niflois. And the Rebbe time and time again says, what I talk is the truth, because what I say is Torah. My dear friends, on Hey Teves, the Rebbe asked us, granted us invited us and expected of us, and in a way you could say was disappointed in us, that he invites us into the cockpit. He wants us to see the reality of the world the way he sees it, and somehow you don't see what I see. In the sichos leading up to Teves, the beginning of what precipitated the whole event, is somebody who decided that Lubavitch was over. It was finished. In his eyes, the Frierdiker Rebbe passed away. And that's it. Now, the Frierdiker Rebbe's library, the Sfarim of the Frierdiker Rebbe, are available for a discussion or a taking. And the Rebbe, the Nasi of our, the Rebbe didn't say, like the Chassidim understood, that the Rebbe is here, and the Rebbe is at the helm, and the shepherd, and the Neshama Klalis, and Chabad is alive more than ever. This talking Tafshin Mem Hey. Look at the history of Chabad, Tafshin Mem Hey. Days of incredible growth, incredible light, incredible. The trajectory of Chabad was and still is incredibly all-encompassing. Nation after nation, country after country, state after state. But even for that opponent who said it finished in 1950, the Rebbe says, don't you see what I see? The Torah tells us, Zarei b'chaim hu b'chaim. Chayei atzadik einam chaim b'sorim. The Chayei atzadik, the life of a tzaddik continues. The Sfarim that a tzaddik touches continue to be alive with his impact. The Chafetzim, the belongings of the Rebbe, they're not like any other regular person's belongings that after 120 they get divided. They're a vestige, a continuation, an expression of the tzaddik. Torah tells us Yankov Avinu Leimeis. Yankov Avinu did not cease to live here in this world. There was a levaya, there's things al pi halacha that needed to be done even by Yankov Avinu. But the Gemara says, Ma'azarei b'chaim, afu b'chaim. He has a continuation of living descendants, of living Yidden, that are living neshama beguf, and they're an extension of him, a continuation of him, an expression of him here on earth. The Rebbe says we have Agudas Chasidei Chabad. There is a group. There are Chassidim, hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. Living, breathing, walking, active Chassidim. Zarei b'chaim. The Rebbe says, speaking about who the Rebbe always spoke about, the Rebbe the Shver. But Zarei b'chaim. The Rebbe is alive because the Chassidim are here walking, talking, breathing, and the Rebbe is not Chaim B'Sorim anyway. Never was. And his Chaim B'Sorim are about Emunas Hashem and Avos Hashem and Yiras Hashem, and the Kedusha of a tzaddik never ceases, and the impact of a tzaddik never ceases, and the expression in this physical world of the offshoots, of the growth, of the results of a tzaddik don't stop. But the Rebbe says, but there are people that think there was a levaya, and what says in the Gemara, they roll their eyes. Come on, let's get real. I'm going to say here a joke which I believe the Rebbe would never agree with this joke. So why would I say it? Because I think that's how some people think. V'Avram beirach, v'Hashem beirach es Avram b'koil. I heard it, in Thailand we have a lot of all kinds of Jews come. I'm sure I heard it from Chevra that come to do ashkoches for various ashkoches. And they tell the joke in Yiddish, in Apoilish Yiddish. So Avram had a son take it in that context. The Eibishter blessed Avram Bakoil. What was Bakoil? The Medrash sucht, as Bakoil, he given a bas. He had a daughter. Stellt sich the Shaila, if Avram Avinu has a daughter, in those days, it was no problem to make a shidduch. The Shvatim married the twins and so on. Why does Avram Avinu have to go and look for Yitzchak and go and send an Eliezer and make meifsim with meises? Make a shidduch. Make a shidduch in the family. Avram Bakoil. He has a daughter. Cain and Hevel, it worked. Make a shidduch. With Bakoil, we'll marry Yitzchak. You know what the answer? I cringe when I say it, but I'll say it because I think the point is important. Mit a Medrash kann man nicht Chasen haben. You can't get married with a Medrash. There's a Medrash that there was a daughter. Yitzchak had to get married. Don't give me Medrashim. I cringe when I say it because I think that the Rebbe, I know that this is the point. Do liegt es. By the Rebbe, a Medrash is real. Torah is real. Halacha is real. Eretz asher eine Hashem Elokecha bo is real. Zarei b'chaim afu b'chaim is real. By others, well-meaning people. Well-meaning people. Sometimes mekuravim. Sometimes those that consider themselves non-yedidim, friends. They think that there's the persona of the Rebbe when he's speaking publicly. And then there's the zwischen insgeret, unsere Kinder, unsere. Rebbe, let's talk about us. Let's not the medrash about Bakoil. Let's talk about reality. And by the Rebbe, there's no such thing. Because MS takes all levels from the top to the bottom. MS is reality. Zare b'chaim, afu b'chaim. And the Rebbe says in a tutveidige weg, in a painful way, the Rebbe says, how can somebody not see what I'm seeing? How can you say about the Frierdiker Rebbe that Zarei B'chaim, Afu B'chaim is not a reality? How are you not seeing that? How are the Chassidim not understanding what I'm saying? So, hey, Teves is the litmus test, if you wish, of is it real? Or is there a two-tiered reality? The reality that is spoken and preached and Farbrengen, and then the reality of the truth that we know because of the tangibility. Can I go to Israel? Can you imagine somebody coming to the Rebbe in dollars after the Rebbe says Eretz Yisrael is the safest place in the world, and asking Ober Rebbe, for me, I know what you spent for the Oilam. I know your official party line. That's what they're telling the Rebbe, basically. I know what you're saying officially as Rebbe, so to speak, as a spiritual leader. Ober, I'm going to take my body and go on a plane and land in Israel, and it's the threats of the Gulf War are real. What does it mean to me? And the Rebbe doesn't. The Rebbe says, what do you mean? I'm constantly explaining and telling that Eretz Yisrael, spoken by Hashem in the Torah, Teras Seina, Teras Chaim, Teras Emes, that Eretz Yisrael is the safest place in the world. What are you asking? You don't see what I see. I'm giving you the gift. If you want my glasses, if you want to come into the cockpit and see the panorama and see the way I see it, that's where I want you. You want to talk about Zarei B'chaim, Afu B'chaim is a medrash, is a gemara, and that's not the reality? In the end, in the federal court, it became a reality. Le'enei kol hagoyim, the goy should judge. Agudas Sidei Chabad. The Sfarim belong to the Rebbe, and it's a reality, and they're there today in the library, and they came back physically. So what we have to ask ourselves, we celebrate the day, but we have to ask ourselves, not ask ourselves, we have to gift ourselves. You know, these days when you don't get a WhatsApp for a few minutes, you're scared nobody loves you anymore. So one of the things people do, they send themselves an email to see if they're still connected. Send yourself an email. Oh yeah, I'm still connected. So okay, it's not that the email is down, not that the WhatsApp service failed. Send yourself a gift. See if you're connected. It doesn't matter, my dear colleague, Rabbi Shmotkin, Rabbi Shmaya said, very rightfully so. We live life not only if we feel. We have to live life and act the way we want to feel. If somebody doesn't feel like doing Shabbos, he doesn't make Kiddush. He makes Kiddush. By the way, one of the reasons for Kiddush is because you move yourself to Sefer HaChinuch. Those of you that are sitting near Asfarim Shain, you take out the Sefer HaChinuch and see the mitzvah of Kiddush for Shabbos. The reason for Kiddush of Shabbos is to move yourself to a different space. You have to create a new space, a new experience. Hey Teves is about aligning the reality of your life with the reality, the way the Rebbe says it, which is the reality and the emes of Torah. Anything more I say will be idach pirushahu. As chassidim, as aspiring chassidim, as wannabe chassidim, the Rebbe gives us the gift of bringing us in to his perspective. And when we don't take the invitation, and we don't enter that sacred space, when we don't put on those glasses that the Rebbe says, Effen auf de Augen, it's disappointing. You hear it in the sichas, in build up to Hey Teves. It's disappointing. The Rebbe says, don't you see? Everybody sees. We're the everybody that the Rebbe wants that we should see. So those of us that are here right now, those of us that are listening, those of us that are participating, today is a special day we all know. And today is a day where the Rebbe is expressed, on the one hand, his tsar, his frustration in the build-up of the fact that we're not getting it. And on the other hand, the Rebbe approved of the celebration and then of the fact that the Chassidim came and they moved themselves till Tula. They moved themselves from one space to move to another space to participate in the Rebbe. And a year later, the Rebbe said it became an established day in the Chabad calendar, day of Hey Teves. So each one in their way. The Rebbe said Heiro is practically connected with Svarim. It's Svarim that came back to buy Svarim. The discounts on Svarim have spread not just to Kahos, but it's spread all across the Jewish world. There's an understanding that this is the time when Yiddish, the Yiddish folk, the Jewish nation buys Svarim, and it's a time there should be discounts, 40% discounts. And Chaim, reality that the Rebbe tells us that kommt Mashiach, that we're at the cusp of a changed world. The Rebbe wants us to see it. He tells us we can see it. And the Eibishter should help. It should become a reality. Dolamata, l'chaim.